This is EcoTricity's EcoTEC Roundup show from New Zealand's only carbon zero certified renewable electricity company. We only source from wind, hydro and solar, and we are the leading supplier of electricity to electric vehicles in New Zealand. Switch today at ecotricity.co.nz. Welcome back to another roundup in the world of clean cars and green energy. Thanks for joining me. And, of course, let us know if you like the tweaked opening. We've been experimenting with some stuff to try and change the opening just to tighten it up. Nio has unveiled the latest of its lineup of EVs, the ES7 SUV, and like the rest of the Nio family, it's built with battery swapping in mind. It has a claimed 0 to 100 km per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint time of 3.9 seconds. It offers the same choice of 75 kWh, 100 kWh or 150 kWh battery packs found in the Nio ET7, with the range-topping model offering upwards of 850 km, 528 miles per charge on the WLTP test cycle. Its 480 kilowatt drivetrain can tow up to 2 metric tons, 2.2 US tons. Vehicle to load is standard. There's a built-in projector for camping fun, and prices start from the equivalent of $70,000. It will debut in China by the end of this year. Ford has officially issued a stop sale of all 4 Mustang Mach E cars produced in Mexico between May 27, 2020 through May 24, 2022, after an issue was found with the high-voltage main contactors. Essentially massive relays whose job it is to engage and disengage power to and from the battery pack to the vehicle's power electronics. Ford says contactors in affected cars could overheat, resulting in an open contactor, meaning the vehicle won't properly power on or may suddenly stop while driving, or a welding condition where high currents going through the battery pack actually melt the contactor closed so you can't open it to break the circuit. Ford says a dealer bulletin will be provided to dealerships shortly. At that time, it will contact all owners via first-class mail and provide them with instructions to have the remedial work carried out under warranty. If you're interested, the safety recall is 22S41. Volkswagen has officially begun series production of its ID. Buzz and ID. Buzz cargo electric vans at its Hanover plant in Germany. While it will produce 15,000 ID. Buzz models this year, Volkswagen aims to ramp up production next year to 130,000 vehicles. This is an increase of its original production goals due to high demand for the all-electric van. While some Volkswagen facilities are now EV only, the Hanover production facility also produces the multivan, available in plug-in hybrid and internal combustion engine variants, as well as the T6.1 Transporter, which again is an ICE vehicle. At the moment, batteries for the Volkswagen ID. Buzz and ID. Buzz Cargo are being shipped to the facility complete, but Volkswagen says it's readying on-site production for the ID battery packs in the near future. Tesla has yet again put the price of its electric cars up, with Model X getting a $6,000 price hike. While Tesla didn't increase the price of its rear-wheel drive Model 3, it's still $46,990 or equivalent, the Model 3 long range just got a $2,500 price increase to just shy of $58,000, while the Model Y long range has jumped to $65,990. Missing from the online store is the Model Y standard range, a Texas-made variant that's only currently available to Texas customers by invitation. As for Model S, it'll now start from a cool $104,990. That's nearly double what the Model S was when it launched 10 years ago. The Model X will now start from $120,990. Swedish truck firm Scania has just introduced its first long-haul electric trucks designed for regional use. Available with either R or S sleeper cabs, the new Scania BEV trucks can be ordered initially as a 4x2 tractor or a 6x2 4 rigids. Depending on customer configuration, the batteries are installed in module packs along the chassis, with up to 6 battery modules offering 624 kilowatt-hours of onboard storage and a theoretical range of 350 kilometers, 217 miles between charges when hauling. At the moment, the maximum charge rate is 375 kilowatts from a compatible CCS quick charging station. These new big rigs are compliant with new EU directives, meaning up to 64 metric tons of gross train weight can be configured. That is a massive 70.5 US tons. Rivian and Lucid are heading towards bankruptcy and need to change the direction or face extinction. That is the considered opinion of Elon Musk, who told Tesla Silicon Valley Owners Club during a YouTube interview that he felt both companies weren't doing the EV thing right. Since Lucid is currently helmed by Peter Rawlinson, former chief engineer of Model S, something that Elon Musk now vehemently disagrees with, it's difficult to tell if Musk's opinion on Lucid is driven by some animus towards Rawlinson, and Musk has similarly critiqued Rivian in the past too. But while Musk's remarks hold some truth, Lucid and Rivian are both burning through cash right now, there's also the elements of pot, kettle and black, since there have been plenty of times in Tesla's past when the company has faced a tough financial outlook, not to mention many analysts saying similar things about Tesla to Musk's current verdict on Lucid and Rivian. Interestingly though, Musk stated in an indirect kind of way that he felt Ford would survive the transition to electric, something he hasn't always believed. Because electricity is so cheap and governments around the world are working hard to encourage citizens to make the switch to electric from fossil fuels, it's not unusual to find charging stations giving away free electricity to EV owners. But a group of Republican lawmakers in North Carolina have decided that if electric car owners are given electricity for free, then any business who wants to offer such a perk must tell every customer exactly how much money they're spending in their bill helping to provide EV charging to others. Through House Bill 1049, certain lawmakers want to make this a legal requirement and also want to completely prohibit any state-owned building or facility from offering free electricity to EV drivers, because public funds, unless said facility also includes gasoline and diesel dispensing facilities. Worse still, the bill wants to set aside $50,000 to remove EV chargers from public property where gas and diesel isn't free. As Clean Technica puts it, this one is kneecapping disguised as equity. As the first EV from Kia to be built on the jointly owned EGMP platform, we've got to say that the Kia EV6 isn't a bad car, although in the guise we test drove it in, the Kia EV6 GT line, it was a little underpowered. But at the Goodwood Festival of Speed next week, Kia will officially unveil a much more powerful range-topping variant in the form of the Kia EV6 GT. Packing 424 kilowatts at the wheels, thanks to a dual-motor setup, the Kia EV6 GT does the Spotlight sprint in 3.5 seconds and goes on to an electronically limited 162 miles per hour, 260 kilometers per hour. While that kind of power and performance is completely unnecessary, it looks to set itself up as a worthy flagship for the EV6 brand, which I'm guessing will entice more hardened car fans into ownership ranks. Driving it for its debut is BXCC Class T2 champion Jade Pavley, who took it out this week on the track at Dunsfold Aerodrome, or you might know it as the Top Gear test track. The $7,500 federal tax credit for electric vehicle purchases currently has a 200,000 vehicle limit per manufacturer, after which customers get a reduced and eventually no rebates. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has been pretty vocal of late about his desire to see the tax credit eradicated completely, which is different to Tesla's past stance on the matter, but now a collective of automakers, including General Motors, Ford, Stellantis and Toyota, have written to the US Congress urging it to pass legislation to remove the 200,000 vehicle limit, noting that recent economic pressures and supply chain constraints are causing problems for the auto industry. The automakers implored that the per automaker cap be removed and that the sunset date for the EV tax credit program be extended out further. It's not clear, though, if or when Capitol Hill will take heed to those particular requests. About 6 months ago, we told you about Michigan-based battery specialists, Our Next Energy, and the dual chemistry battery pack it had developed that was designed to offer extended range capabilities to EVs. The first vehicle demonstrated using the company's Gemini dual chemistry pack was a Tesla Model S, offering an impressive 750 miles, 1,207 kilometers of range. But now the company has signed a partnership with BMW to work on a dual chemistry battery pack for the BMW iX. It's already designed the pack, and based on initial calculations, believes the resulting pack would give a production BMW iX a 600-mile, 965-kilometer range per charge, all while reducing lithium content by 20%, graphite content by 60%, and keeping nickel and cobalt content levels low too. We're told to expect a prototype vehicle by the end of this year. Before we get to the last two stories, a quick question. Are you in the market for a new electric car? And if you are and live in New Zealand, I hope you've checked out our very own buyer's guide at ecotricity.co.nz. It is packed with all the information you need to pick a car that's right for you and includes plenty of details about incentives you can get, charging providers you can use, and of course, how to get a charging station at home. Follow the link below and start your journey today. There are certain vehicles out there that are ideally suited to becoming camper van conversions, thanks to their boxy design and load carrying capability. But to date, there's only been a handful of vehicles that we've seen converted to campers. This week, the Mercedes-Benz EQV-derived Tonke EV got its first debut, becoming one of just a few electric vans to get the camper van treatment. Dutch specialist Tonke took a standard EQV, added a brand new pop-up roof and sleeping for four, plus a fully featured kitchen. Unlike the camper concept Mercedes-Benz debuted earlier this year, which was built by a Swiss firm under contract to Benz, this camper van is an honest-to-goodness road trip-ready tourer capable of taking the whole family on holiday. It's not just a day van with extras, but as far as B-class RVs go, this has got to be a whole lot cheaper to run than your average camper. And it's a lot cleaner too. And finally, the electric vehicle history books are littered with the names of companies who wanted to change the world, but only ended up declaring bankruptcy. And right now, there are also plenty of companies seemingly vying to see who will be the next company to put their names to that list. This week, the latest company to go from hopeful to hopeless was Electric Last Mile, or ELMs for short, which not so long ago had been given an official public valuation of more than $1.4 billion. In fact, as recently as January, it was promising to revolutionise the world of urban delivery with its range of small and mid-sized delivery vehicles, yet this week it officially filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection in the US. According to the paperwork submitted, it is currently in debt to the tune of more than $50 million. Back in February, the president and CEO of the company and the chairman dramatically resigned after it was discovered they had improperly purchased equity in the company before it went public via a reverse merger with a SPAC. It's never good seeing a company reach this point, and of course our thoughts are with those affected by the sudden announcement who now find themselves out of work. And on that note, we are done for the day. Before I go though, do make sure you've hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest in EV news from this channel. And of course, if you haven't already switched, do consider switching to New Zealand's only carbon zero certified renewable electricity company. It is super easy to make the switch and you'll be helping New Zealand wean itself off dirty energy and onto clean green power that will keep the land beautiful for generations to come. I'll be back soon with more awesome content, as will Gav, but until then, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Ka kite. See you next time.